Sarcasm. Sarcasm, we hear it every day, from jokes in conversation to witty dialogue in movies. But what exactly is sarcasm? In simple words, sarcasm is a sharp form of verbal irony where a person says the opposite of what they mean, usually to mock, criticize, or express irritation, and sometimes, to be funny. For example, imagine someone comes to work late and a colleague says, "Nice of you to join us on time." The words sound polite, but the tone clearly means the opposite. That's sarcasm, saying one thing but meaning another, often with a cutting or humorous edge. Definition and origin. The word sarcasm comes from the Greek word sarkasian, which literally means to tear flesh or to bite the lip in rage. Sarkasian means to tear flesh. This origin perfectly captures sarcasm's sharp and biting nature, its speech meant to sting, mock, or sneer, but often disguised as humor. In essence, sarcasm is the use of irony to mock or show contempt. While it can make people laugh, it can also hurt feelings if used harshly. That's why sarcasm needs to be used carefully. It's a form of wit that walks a thin line between humor and insult. Sarcasm allows people to express frustration, irritation, or humor without direct confrontation. Sarcasm allows people to express frustration, irritation, or humor without direct confrontation. Sarcasm allows people to express frustration, irritation, or humor without direct confrontation. Instead of saying, "I'm annoyed," someone might say, "Oh, I'm just thrilled," in a dry, exaggerated tone. So, sarcasm is both a shield, protecting us from direct conflict, and a sword, expressing criticism through humor. Sarcasm is a literary and rhetorical device. In literature and everyday speech, sarcasm serves two main purposes. As a literary device, it helps writers reveal a character's emotions, beliefs, or attitude through dialogue. As a rhetorical device, it is used to persuade, criticize, or entertain an audience by using irony with a mocking. When sarcasm dominates an entire piece of writing or performance, it becomes satire, a form of humor that exposes human flaws or social absurdities. Everyday sarcasm examples. Here are a few short, common sarcastic remarks. "Oh, what a surprise!" When something predictable happens. "Big deal." When something isn't impressive. "Well, that's just wonderful." When something goes wrong. "I'm so thrilled." When clearly annoyed. These phrases rely on tone, the voice, not the words, carries the sarcasm. Types of sarcasm, with examples and explanations. Let's explore the main types of sarcasm, each serving a different emotional or expressive purpose. Self-deprecating sarcasm. Brooding sarcasm. Deadpan, dry, sarcasm. Polite sarcasm. Obnoxious, cutting, sarcasm. Raging sarcasm. Situational sarcasm. Passive-aggressive sarcasm. Socratic sarcasm. Self-deprecating sarcasm. Definition. When someone uses sarcasm to mock themselves rather than others, often to appear humble, lighten a tense situation, or hide insecurity behind humor. This is when someone mocks themselves to seem humble or humorous. Purpose. To reduce tension, gain sympathy, or make oneself relatable. Example, "I'm such a social butterfly, I only talked to my cat all weekend." The speaker humorously exaggerates their lack of social life. It's self-directed irony that creates humor while subtly revealing loneliness or introversion. Example, "I'm such a genius, I only failed that test twice." Here, the speaker isn't boasting but making fun of themselves to ease embarrassment or make light of failure. Brooding sarcasm. Definition. This form shows irritation or self-pity, often through an exaggeratedly polite tone. It is used to express annoyance or self-pity in a seemingly polite or resigned way. The exaggerated positivity makes the sarcasm obvious. Purpose: to vent frustration indirectly. Example: oh great! Another meeting. Just what I needed to make my day even more exciting. The speaker pretends to be happy, but their tone conveys frustration. Example: sure, I'd love to cancel my weekend plans and do extra work. The words sound positive, but the speaker clearly means the opposite. They're frustrated and using sarcasm to express it indirectly. Deadpan, dry, sarcasm. Deadpan sarcasm is delivered with a completely emotionless tone and expression, making it hard to tell if the person is joking or serious. Purpose: to create humor through ambiguity and understatement. Example: oh yes, I love waiting in line for 3 hours. It's the highlight of my day. The speaker says the opposite of what they mean, but without showing emotion. The lack of expression intensifies the sarcasm. It's funny because of its cold seriousness. Example: of course I believe your excuse, you're always honest. The flat tone makes it funnier or more cutting because the listener has to pick up the hidden mockery. Polite, or underhanded, sarcasm. Definition. When sarcasm is disguised as politeness or flattery but is actually intended to criticize or insult. Purpose: to mock indirectly, often used in formal or passive-aggressive communication. Example: your presentation was surprisingly understandable. Explanation: the compliment sounds positive, but the word surprisingly implies the speaker didn't expect the person to do well. Example: your presentation was interesting. The word interesting sounds kind but implies the opposite. The person found it dull or confusing. Obnoxious, cutting, sarcasm. Definition. Obnoxious sarcasm is a harsh and direct form of sarcasm intended to insult or offend someone. It is direct, rude, and meant to offend. Purpose: to express contempt or superiority. Example: wow, you're a real genius, spilling coffee on yourself twice in one morning. Explanation: the phrase real genius is the opposite of what the speaker means. The intent is to mock, not to amuse. Example: oh yes, I love hearing your voice every second. Here, sarcasm clearly mocks the other person, showing annoyance or disdain. Raging sarcasm. Definition. It is used in anger or irritation, often involving exaggeration and strong emotion. Purpose: to express anger dramatically without physical confrontation. Example: sure. Let me handle everything, since I clearly have nothing else to do. Explanation: the sarcasm exaggerates the speaker's frustration and sense of being overburdened. The intensity of tone makes it unmistakable. Example: sure. Why don't I just do everyone's work while I'm at it? This kind of sarcasm releases frustration dramatically. It's not meant to be funny but to express emotional overload. Manic sarcasm. Definition: when someone delivers sarcasm in an unnaturally cheerful or exaggeratedly upbeat tone, often hiding stress or irritation. Purpose: to mask negative emotions behind forced enthusiasm. Example: oh, fantastic. My laptop crashed again right before the deadline. Could this day get any better? The speaker's exaggerated excitement contrasts with the frustrating situation, creating a sharp sarcastic effect. Example: everything's perfectly fine. Nothing's going wrong at all. The exaggerated happiness shows the opposite, that the speaker is overwhelmed or upset. Situational sarcasm. Sarcasm directed not at a person but at a situation or event, highlighting absurdity or irony. Purpose: to mock circumstances rather than people. Example: during a heavy downpour, perfect weather for a picnic, isn't it? The remark mocks the situation, not anyone personally. It humorously points out how reality contradicts expectations. Passive-aggressive sarcasm. It is used to indirectly express anger or resentment while pretending to be polite or agreeable. Purpose: to criticize without direct confrontation. Example: oh, I didn't realize being on time was optional for you. The tone and content both criticize the person's lateness, but in a disguised, seemingly polite manner. Socratic sarcasm. Definition: named after Socrates, it involves pretending ignorance or naivety to expose someone's flawed logic. Purpose: to challenge or mock ideas through irony and questioning. Example: so, you're saying you failed because the teacher likes good students? Interesting logic. Explanation: the speaker feigns curiosity to highlight the absurdity of the other person's excuse. Sarcasm versus irony. Many people confuse sarcasm with irony, but they're not the same. Irony is a broad concept. It's when there's a contrast between expectation and reality. Example: a fire station burns down. That's situational irony, not sarcasm. Sarcasm is verbal irony with intent, meant to mock, insult, or amuse someone. Example: a teacher tells a late student, nice of you to join us on time. That's sarcasm. In short, all sarcasm is irony, but not all irony is sarcasm. Quick comparison: irony versus sarcasm. Aspect: irony, sarcasm. Definition: contrast between expectation and reality. Using irony to mock or show contempt. Tone: can be neutral or humorous. Usually sharp, mocking, or critical. Focus: events, situations, or words. The speaker's tone and intent. Example: a fire station burns down. Oh great, another fire drill. My favorite. Sarcasm in literature and pop culture. Sarcasm adds realism and depth to dialogue in books, films, and shows. Characters who use sarcasm often appear witty, cynical, or proud. For example, in the TV show Friends, Chandler Bing is known for his sarcastic humor, masking insecurity behind jokes. In Scrubs, Dr. Cox uses sarcasm to mock others but also to reveal his frustration and honesty. Authors use sarcasm to develop personality, reveal relationships, and balance humor with conflict. Shakespeare's sarcastic lines, e.g., "And Brutus is an honorable man, Julius Caesar." How to recognize sarcasm. Sarcasm is often recognized by tone, facial expression, or context rather than words alone. Verbal cues. Overly exaggerated or dramatic tone. Emphasis on certain words. Oh, really? Overuse of politeness or enthusiasm. Nonverbal cues. Eye rolling. Smirking or raised eyebrows. Crossed arms or a tilted head. Written cues. Quotation marks or italics, so helpful. Capitalization or emojis, e.g., #sarcastic, or /s at the end of a sentence. When sarcasm goes wrong. While sarcasm can be funny or clever, it can also backfire. Sarcasm can be misunderstood or offensive. Sarcasm depends heavily on tone. In text or online, it often gets lost and can sound rude instead of funny. You could even say, that's why sarcasm is known as the smart person's humor, but only if the other person gets it. That's why sarcasm should be used carefully, especially in professional environments. The importance of sarcasm. Sarcasm plays a vital role in social bonding. Friends often use it playfully to show closeness. Emotional release. It helps people vent frustration humorously. Literary expression. Writers use it to develop witty, complex characters. Psychologically, sarcasm demonstrates higher social awareness, as it requires understanding others' perspectives, knowing that what's said isn't what's meant. Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but the highest form of intelligence. Like, comment and subscribe for more videos.